Today is the first day of the rest of your life. The mind navigates the body. In other words, how we think determines how we perform. We cannot outperform our self-image, and that limits begin where vision ends. So if you can't see yourself doing something, if you're not mentally planning on succeeding, you're not going to. So you have to see yourself. You have to build a mental blueprint and seeing yourself succeed in any particular event, and that's full training spectrum, not just on. It's anywhere. See, most all gunfighting should be performed intuitively or at a subconscious level. Because the reason we want to perform certain tasks intuitively is because we human beings, we are not multitaskers. We are not capable of performing two tasks simultaneously, conscious level. We could task switch or task stack or perform certain tasks intuitively. Aggressive, slow it down, prep, right at the apex of the presentation. Aggressive, slow it down, prep, right to apex of the presentation. Back in the holster the same way. Aggressive, slow it down, prep, right to apex of the presentation. Back in the holster the same way. When we're working this is a trick. This is outcome-based training. Execution with consideration of the consequence. Will I succeed or will I fail? Outcome-based training. We are working performance. Performance says A-zone hits. A-zone hits. That's what performance says. So, if you think about outcome, it will sabotage your ability to perform. And the probability of achieving the outcome you desire will increase once you let go of the need to have it. Just because we have a gun doesn't mean we are armed. The mind is the final weapon, all else is supplemental. I've heard too many times in the past, yeah, somebody, just shoot him. Well, guess what? That's murder. You know, you've got to be able to do something here without resorting to freaking lethal results, because lethality is probably not necessary. It's not necessary in every situation. Aggressive, straight to the target, sight, squeeze. Same way. Aggressive, straight to the target, sight, squeeze, sight. Back in the holster the same way. So we'll do a full magazine, single shot from the holster, strong hand only. Still emphasis on the big five: grip, presentation, sight alignment, jury control. Are we tracking?
Yep. Yes, sir.
Talk to them like that, hands up, because you're protecting your sides. And what I tell people is, if they don't see that I'm in a fighting stance right now, they deserve to get their ass kicked. If they can't see that, then they deserve it. And I want you to read his body language, and at some point, if he's aggressive, I want you to take an obvious step to the left and adjust your verbiage. Now, in training, it is okay to fail. It is okay to throw that shot. But when we do fail, we need to learn from the past, prepare for the future, and perform in the present. We cannot let it become a recurring theme. Look, I'm sure we can figure this out. What did that do to him? Right, I disrupted his OODA loop, right? I took him off his initial plan of attack, and he's got one. The other thing is, when we fail, we need to have this ability. The ability to fail quickly. Don't spend that much time failing. Spend that much time failing. Get over it. Water off of the duck's ass. The other thing it's doing, tactical deception. I'm putting a bug in his head. That guy's saying, what does he know, and do I want to know what he knows? Because a predator, once again, human, just like predator in the wild, he needs to take easy prey. So that, hey, look, I'm sure we can figure something out. If you've been practicing to check your work to your sights, Fifth, A miss and a makeup should be something like this. Miss and a makeup. Ready, stand by, beep. It should be about that fast. But not everybody's been practicing to check their work through their sights. And I know who you are. And I'm gonna be watching you, and I'm gonna call you out when I see this. That's what I'm gonna see. Barely any exaggeration.
Quit.
Yep. Barely any hyperbole there. I'm gonna see that shit. And you will see the importance of checking your work through your sights. When do we go faster? When do we go faster? You guys always ask that. Hey, when do I start really pushing it? When do I go faster? My answer is when it's impossible to miss at your current speed. Because then by default, you just get faster. You will never hear me in this course say, go faster. You're gonna hear me a bunch of times say, slow it down, slow it down. 5 miles an hour, slow it down.
Stand by!
Is we're gonna practice some ones and twos. I'm gonna walk around and have everybody do it to me. And what I'm gonna do is throw one, boom, throw one, boom. And see how he's going nice and light with it? We don't need to kill each other. We just need to perform the right amount of motion. Throw one, boom, and then throw one, two, boom, boom. And see that, the hips and everything? It's nice, it's nice motion. The other thing is, he throws that two, what happens after that two? Throw one, two, boom, boom. It's straight back to recock. It's not admiring his work. Too many guys, when they start, they'll throw a 1, 2 and let that 2 hang. Boom, boom.
Stand by.
You ready?
1, 3, 3.
You're high on all those.
You ready? Yep. Stand by.
Ready. Stand by.
1, 3.
4 reasons why we should exercise, work out. 4. My 4 are, number 1, self-preservation, longevity. You know, you want to stick around for people. You know, you want to make sure that you're healthy for as long as you can. Self-preservation, longevity. The next one is having the ability to save your own life. More importantly, 3rd one, the ability to save somebody else's life. And the 4th one, the ability to kick somebody's ass. So to me, that's the 4 reasons why we should work out. So everything I do, like when I build this program, they kind of revolve around practical movements, everyday freaking movements.
Same thing. Big word that doesn't make any sense.
2, 3, 1.
Shooter ready.
People always ask me, what's your diet, bro? It's meat and veg. I don't know. That's it. How many times a day you eat? When I'm hungry? I don't know.
Ready.
Woo! 1, 4, 2.
Watch out. Remember, try to step into the known, not into the unknown. You're stepping like this.
Ready. Stand
Well,
by.
which way you turn, but if I step this way, I might somebody that I'm fighting with, or, you know, it doesn't matter if you go this way or that way, so long as you see where your foot's going.
It's always a top 4.
Yes. Power is how fast. Strength is how much, right? That's the ability to move something, right?
Stand by.
So what happens if you can't stand
1, 8, 1.
by?
Shooter ready. Stand by.
1.
1, 6, 9. Shooter ready.
The thinking is this simple right here. If you cloned yourself yesterday, can you kick your clone's ass tomorrow? That's all you gotta think about. Just let me make a little freaking improvement on something about me, about this structure. That I have in my truck is it's an over-the-shoulder bag. It's got 300 rounds loaded. magazines. Zip it open, eyes, ears, water, oil, Sharpies. Because that's basically my active shooter bag. Go up.
$20.40.
Have an AR locked, not loaded. The other thing I have with this bag is a big, gigantic, dumbass, bright orange vest that says security on it. Yep, think about that. Why the vest? What's it gonna do?
Give a pause.
Give that freaking rookie cop a moment to pause, long enough for me to go flat down on my belly, separate gun from body, and identify myself.
One in the middle, yo. That's what most people forget about. Damn!
And then alarm system, freaking dogs, right? Best security system out there. Yeah. They don't need to be ferocious, they just need to be vociferous. So I got a little yipper and a big barker. Yep, and they're freaking awesome security system, man. Most importantly, the shot has got to be there. We are not in the business of indiscriminate fire. It's got to be there. So, a void in training that I've noticed is that right there. Bullseye work. Yep. There are opponents out there, bullseye training. And what I realized, the recurring theme is those opponents, they suck. Yeah, they can't shoot. Now, I was thinking, escalation of force. Shit goes bump in the night. You got to, once again, escalation of force. I probably get up at least once every night because I hear something. I heard some shit. So investigate. I'm going to take my flashlight. It just so happens to be attached to my gun. So I'm going to take a flashlight with me and go investigate. With the light, you got to think it's double-edged sword, right? With a beam. You don't want to illuminate from defilade, because now you're illuminating yourself as well. You only want to hit that light when you're at the threshold, so you're not illuminating yourself as well. Just try it at home sometime with a handheld, See, from your bedroom, boom, into the hallway or wherever, and you can see that you're going to light yourself up versus standing up in the threshold and boom, hitting it there. We used to do a freaking ass load of bull work at the unit. I mean, it seemed like every day we did bullseye shit, because the importance of shot placement was understood. That was first and foremost. It had to freaking be there. So we're gonna do a course of fire. I call 500 point aggregate. It's a 50 round course of fire. Let's say I had no dogs, so I have that no early warning system. Now it's crash, footsteps. What do you do? What are you supposed to do?
Call 911.
I'm doing book answer here, man. Doing book answer. I'm just gonna give you some food for thought here. All right. So, crash. Somebody's definitely in your house. Grab your freaking flashlight. Just so happens to be attached to a gun. Cell phone. 911. Speakerphone. Set it down. I got a place for it, and you have to announce. I have a gun. I just called the police. Exit the same way you came in. See, there's a line of delineation here. My wife's gonna sleep through that. She's gonna sleep through it. I don't want to cross this threshold, go into the next room, get thumped on the head, and leave her freaking unsecured. So you have to think lines of delineation. I have to lock down certain real estate to protect my PC. I have to do that. Number one, we have to incorporate kinetics into training, right? Some movement. The big reason is, if fighting is fighting, there's going to be movement. There's going to be. And in a gunfight, you're going to eventually have to move from point A to point B, more than likely. So you have to move your body expeditiously across a chunk of earth. And then you have to be able to do it without, let's say, holding on to all your shit or leaving a yard sale behind you. And then the other thing is we have to think, control breathing. Now that's not a smoker. It's just enough to get the heart rate up a little bit. So now you have to think and breathe. Grab one of these things. Remember what these are? Remember that? Map? Yeah. So I always grab a map. One of the reasons I take the maps too, and this is, once again, I'm not freaking paranoid, but if shit went south and I had no vehicle and everything freaking went haywire, whenever I get to a freaking location, I always text my wife how many days walk it is home. From here, 32 days. Best case, 32. What I'm going to do is kickstand him, boom, put him just like this. And I can check his back and everything. And then when I check his back, I don't want to check like this, I want to check like this. So claws, because if there's a puncture or bullet, something like that, this is not going to find it. This will go into that crevice. Right, so that'll go into the crevice. And right now, if he's got bloody, frothy sputum, it's just going to come out of his mouth. He's fine. Everything's good. I can write notes on him. This is when I put the tourniquet on and freaking bam, kickstand. Waiting for a high five. Where are you, bro? That's all I can do. I want to reiterate what I said to you yesterday. The vested interest in my part is I want assets versus liabilities, man. I want as many sheepdogs out there as possible because we are outnumbered by the sheeple. Right? So we got to take care of the sheeple. You got to protect your own. Right? You got to be the agent in charge of your own executive protection detail. You got to be your own first responder. As responsible and trained gun handlers, we need to carry wherever the law permits. And then thanks again for coming out. Thanks again, Ron, for honchoing it.
Thanks, Ron.
And that's all I have to say about that. Ready, break. Bam. I'm out here.
Thanks, Pat.
Right on.
Thanks, Pat.
Yep.
All right, man, so we just finished your Sentinel course, and you just did your TAPS course before that.
Yes, so 2 back-to-back courses.
Quick breakdown. TAPS is?
Tactical Application of Practical Shooting, so it's a trainer-to-trainer leadership course built around a shooting program that adheres to the fundamentals and incorporates individual complex battle drills that are ambiguous in nature to encourage quick thinking and decisive action. Bam.
Sentinel.
Yep. Sentinel, the Sentinel program revolves around a shooting program that adheres to the fundamentals. It incorporates the skills necessary to enhance self-preservation and longevity. It recognizes that just because we have a gun does not mean that we are armed. The mind is the final weapon. All else is supplemental. So it's a shooting program that has 5 mini blocks in it. It's got a mini block on vehicle awareness, preparedness, first aid, street fight philosophy, combat strength training, and home fortress.
Cool. I enjoyed the heck out of it. I'll do a total debrief later for you guys, but I just got to tell you, I've trained a ton. Great course. And what I think, if you guys are looking for a class and you're contemplating his, one thing I'll say is the dude's out there training. And that's meaningful to me because, as you know, there's plenty of trainers that rest on what they did long ago. You're out here sweating with the rest of us, getting it done. Not just showing how it's done, but setting a good pace for the activities. And it was totally safe, and I'll go through all that.
Right on.
Yeah, very good use of my time. It utilizes a lot of stuff I neglect in my personal training, and he definitely showed me those weaknesses and how to improve on them. It was very beneficial to me as an individual, and something I can take back and work on more at the range myself.
What was your favorite thing that you did today? You can look at me or the camera, it don't matter.
Offhand shooting.
Offhand
definitely.
shooting?
Yeah, I need a ton of work on that, and so it was good to get, 50, 100 rounds, however many we shot.
So being forced
offhand.
to do something that you normally wouldn't do, not being forced, but being part of the curriculum.
I personally improved by really taking the necessary time to get the shots that I was looking for. Definitely pushing a lot of the strong hand only and sport hand only. That has forced me to reconsider how I am presenting the pistol and also how I'm pressing my shots. From the class I was taking the last couple days until today, I've definitely seen incremental improvements in some areas, but really strong improvements in the single-handed shooting, which is very relevant because, as he illustrated, if you're in a situation where you have to protect a loved one, use a cell phone while you're on the phone with the police, open a car door, or anything like that, single-handed shooting does have applications. Here, I saw in class a discussion about the sight alignment and trigger press, trigger control, how crucial it is to actually pressing valuable shots, and seeing how that plays in and has a much greater weight than some things such as body position or stance.
Yeah.
That really helped me focus on my shooting.
You shot great. I was watching your targets. You're shooting a double single sig, so
Hell yeah.
good trigger control and all that good stuff. Cool, man.
Yeah, appreciate that. Thank you.
And you'd recommend it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Great class, high energy, very focused on accuracy, pushing to that point to where your capabilities are as far as where you need to stop and then work on those fundamentals and what you need to fix to be a proficient shooter, and not pushing it to where you're creating bad reps, stuff like that.
I think everyone here has either seen improvement in their shooting or they know where they need to improve and actually spend more time developing. So it's going to be continual learning after the class.
I dig it, man. Thank you.
Yeah, rock and roll.
And you got an Instagram account. What's it called?
Lighthouse Dynamics.
Lighthouse, spelled out L-I-G-H-T.
HOUSE-DYNAMICS. And the purpose of the page is just kind of link up good people with good resources for shooting, whether for defensive or for sporting purposes. Especially talking about a lot of the great businesses, instructors, ranges, and manufacturers here in Illinois and the Midwest.
Awesome, dude.
This is one you travel for, and if you got the money and the time, you go to. You don't wait till it comes local. You go to a class like this.
So, Donovan Moore, Point One Tactics.
How's everybody doing?
Did you have fun?
Loved it. Great time.
So here, you and I have gone to classes a bunch with people that are our friends, but we don't leave and say we loved it. And that's not a dig, it's just because of like what we're trying to get out of it, and it's not like it wasn't good training, and I'm not naming anybody, so if you ever seen us together at class, don't sit there and be like, which one didn't they love? I know you're my friend, and you were enjoying yourself. You were running, you were shooting, because you like challenges, and so each one of these drills, kind of like stuff we do, like if you're slower, you do it that slow, and you were running some of the fastest times out here. You're taking
So 100%, if you guys ever trained with me or been with me and Mickey in one of the classes, I'm a huge component of competition breeds greatness.
Yeah.
And there was one time I think you ran that time, a certain standard, and you look back at me and you're like, what was your time? Right? And it's like right away we want to know who's pushing the times. And yeah, it wasn't a fundamentals class to, hey, this is how you draw, this is how you grip.
He picked a little bit of that, just like we would.
For sure, but I mean, it wasn't the beginners, hey, this is your draw.
It was
your
running
left
the gun.
hand should be this. He touched on it briefly, and then it was much more thought provocative, right? So it's his Sentinel class. It's not intro to pistol. It's all about protection of yourself, protection of your loved ones, being an asset, not a liability, and a lot of shooting and moving at the end, making sure you can acquire your sights when you need to, see what you need to see, and put purposeful hits in a good amount of time on target.
This is a course, after coming to it, I've read the books, I know Pat personally, I'd totally send a family member, like hey, he's going to be in my neck of the woods. The all-encompassing mindset, thought process, of course the drills and skills, and thoughts on that?
Yeah, definitely. No matter what your skill set is, and we all know it, it's the Pat Mac experience.
Yeah.
Make it habitual. Like, I love that. I mean, it's here, and the biggest thing is I respect what he did. I respect where he comes from.
Yeah.
I respect the amount of years that he put in. So that hits me at home for sure. So to be able to appreciate that, I can see his teaching be embedded into me so much more than I think any normal person, if that makes sense. And by normal, I mean somebody that hasn't maybe been in the military or special operations or whatever it is. So I definitely have a little soft spot for where he came from and can appreciate that. And yeah, I would send anybody here without a doubt. If you got experience, this is way different than any class I've been to. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, me too. I think we both did. We had a lot of fun. And you know what else? One of my big takeaways is he didn't run everybody to death. We start, get a good time, leave at a good time. I shot like 1,000 rounds, 900 rounds. We're not working where our hands are falling apart, where you're past that point of diminishing return.
That's so true.
Yeah.
And as educators in the same world, sometimes I need to take a note on that to make myself better.
Yeah.
Sometimes they need a breather. And man, it was great. The lunch, the sit down, the blocks of instruction, and I was just smiles all over. It was great.
They're waiting for us to take a class picture. We'll give you more later.
Be an asset, not a liability.
Not a liability.
Today is the first day of the rest of your life.
I dig it, bro. Thank you. I'm so glad we got it
Thanks, Mickey.
done.
Appreciate it, man. Glad you were here.
Me too. It was good.